John here, guys, and today we're talking about the FPV Flight Club Vannystyle. This is the signature freestyle frame by current DRL champion Alex Vanover.
Always remember, if you ain't first, you're last.
And the Vannystyle takes a lot of your traditional freestyle frame elements and kind of expands that for an easy plug-and-play solution for digital HD DJI system. So you can see here that it has a specially printed slot that fits the DJI Air unit so comfortably, holds it in with a couple of zip ties. Now to round out this build, I'm using the iflight Twin GF7 DJI stack. And then I am using the Vanover Rotor Riot motors. These are the same as the RC InPower, which is my favorite motor. I'm actually working on a review of that motor as well. And I did a little something different with the DJI camera. I'm actually using a run cam lens on there just to try out different lens options. This one is the one that's on the Phoenix Oscar edition, I believe, the run cam Phoenix Oscar edition. So that works well. And I am trying out these watermelon props. I know these are like a year old. I never got around to trying them, even though I got them back then. So I'm trying them now. This is a really good test to see if you get props in view because these are so bright green, and you do not. So the tests work perfectly. These are kind of a nice sort of a rigid prop. Sound interesting in the air. Now let's talk about the frame first. The frame is just a joy. Everything's laid out so great. You have the simplicity of a very nice one screw arm swap if you should need it. I did race wire here on the arms, and the reason I did that was to get a nice clean surface on top of the arm, and so that if you do have any prop strikes, it's not going to impact any wiring whatsoever. I did a freestyler sort of trick where I got some of these foam landing pads and just 3M Super 33 tape. That's a premium electrical tape that has no residue and it can do high temps. That is a builder secret. I'll put a link for that if you want it. And the motors solder up really nicely. It has this nucleus plate. That is an FPV Flight Club kind of design principle that they use in a lot of their racing frames. Same thing here. So it has an aluminum plate that really holds the arms in place. That is what allows you to have everything so rigid, no arm wiggle whatsoever, and only hold on with one arm. So it's really simplistic design that is robust to keep your components safe and easy for the builder. So much space in this 30 by 30 setup. This iflight stack has been great. I'm going to do a separate video on that, but I really like that it has USB-C so that you really only need one connector for this whole DJI quad. My one little gripe is the camera is a bit exposed here at the front. Now take a look at these camera holders. It's a V. If anybody didn't notice that, it's a V for the Vannystyle. That's really cool. So I do like the camera holder. I don't normally like carbon camera holders, but this one actually works pretty good. And unlike a lot of other frames out there, when you take the top plate off, it stays firmly in place in there. So it's not so hard to get the top plate on and off. So I was working on a glide recently, and I printed an extra one of these glide camera protectors, and it actually fits just fine. So this camera protector, I trimmed off the tabs that you actually use to mount the camera because I'm still using this carbon mounting system, and it's really just a little bit of protection out here in front of the lens. It does not get in your view, and it gives you a little bit of extra peace of mind keeping that camera safe. In addition to that, you have this little FPV Flight Club signed. It's sort of a soft gel pad to keep your battery from flying out. Really outstanding. The bottom plate is also 2 millimeters. I might have liked a little bit of extra thickness on that bottom plate, but you do have a lot of this TPU back here that might soften some of the impacts in the back, and you have a little bit of strength on that nucleus plate. The arms are a very nice 5 millimeters, so that is great. But yeah, if you're looking for something to build the DJI system up with, you're planning on using an Air unit, this really gives you the more traditional freestyle feel without getting gigantic. Some of these frames have gotten so big to accommodate DJI. This really keeps it about the same size as you normally would. And I just love this 3D printed design to hold the Air unit antennas. It holds them a perfect distance away from the quad, out and away, which is what you want. Keeps them very safe, and they're actually pretty secure in there, so you don't have to worry about ejecting them. That's one of the biggest gripes that I have using the Air unit on some of my builds, is like, what do you do with the damn antennas unless you have a frame that the designer has thought of a solution like this. So great job, FPV Flight Club and Vanover on the collaboration for this frame. Thanks, guys.